I'm 1,000 pieces, still standing tall, a voice in the chaos. I've lived it all. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, a friend in the night, holding a broken, still holding a lie. Shells in my pocket, dreams in my hands, building something they don't understand. The crafter of hope from shattered days, finding my strength in a million ways. They don't see the tears fall down in the shower. They don't know the pain behind the power. They only see me when I'm shining bright, not the battles I fight every night. But still I rise through the fire they made, through the hate, through the words they threw in my face. I'm still here, I'm still strong. This is where I belong. Mommy ramblings in my name. I built this boy full of pain. Every rebel that stayed by my side, you're the reason I survive. Still I rise, still I stand, with a broken heart and steady hands. They try to tear me down piece by piece, like I don't deserve a moment of peace. Was it just cause I didn't fit the mold, so they threw their stones and turned so cold? There are things I'll never say out loud, the kind of pain I don't need a crowd, but I carry it deep where the silence lives, and still find a way to give and give. And I smile when I go live like I'm okay, but they don't see the price I pay. I'm missing you with every breath I take, my sweet boy, my heart still breaks. But still I rose for the fire they made, through the hate, through the words they threw in my face. I'm still here, I'm still strong. This is where I belong. Mommy ramblings, this is me. Every left, still chasing dreams. Every rebel that never walked away. You're the light that got me through the grave. Still I rise, still out there, with your memory in my head. God, you carried me when I was weak, when I couldn't stand, you lifted me more times than I could ever say. You made a way, you made a way. And I've got dreams that won't let go, a foundation built, some love I know. For my son, for the words he played, I'll turn my loss into something that remains. Yeah, I rise, now I'm stronger than before. Every scar just opened up a door. I'm still here, hear me now. I won't break, I won't bow. Mommy rambling, loud and clear. This is my voice, this is my ear. Every rebel, every heart, you've been with me from the start. Still I rise, still I fight, turning darkness into light.
I'm still your mom,
I still stay your name.
and I'll build something beautiful from all this pain.
My name is Caroline, and this channel is built on something stronger than hate. It was built on truth, courage, and family. They try to shake the ground I stand on, try to drown me in the noise, but every lie just made me louder. Every storm just found my voice. Some of you came here for answers. Some of you came just to see. But somewhere in the middle of it, you became family. And then we always take those stripes. to mommy ramblings tonight, where truth stands strong and hearts unite. Oh, bring your story, bring your light. Right here we rise and fight. No more silence, no more fear. Every voice is welcome here. This is more than what it seems. It's family, it's hope, it's mommy rambling. They try to tear this place apart, but they underestimated heart. Because when one voice stands up tall, 1,000 more will answer the call. Welcome to mommy ramblings tonight, where courage burns and hope ignites. Bring your story, bring your light. Right here we rise and fight. Through every storm and every flame, I'll still remember every name. This is more than what it seems. It's family, it's hope, it's mommy
Hello, hello. Oh, hold on a second. What is this? Okay. Hello. I'm here. Okay, yeah, it might have been my signal, Ann, because I was coming back from Pennsylvania and it was sketchy in parts of it. Could be that. Okay, lots of, I've been playing some catch up on the news, and I thought there's something really interesting. So Karmelo Anthony has a team of pro bono attorneys that are going to help him with this appeal, which he doesn't have a chance in HE double hockey sticks of winning. But one of the attorneys wrote a post. Let me get that. And this is what it said. One of the attorneys is called Justin Moore. And he says, 35 years. They showed no mercy. He believes the jury showed no mercy. Now, I disagree. I think the jury showed mercy. I think they cut it down considerably. I thought he should have an absolute minimum of 45 years. Minimum. Anyway, he says, 35 years, they showed no mercy. Then he says, kinda hard to. When the defendant's parents, Karmelo's parents, had a press conference mocking the dead victim's father right after the incident. Y'all non-lawyers can argue about if he's were guilty or not. Most real lawyers realize this was a punishment case. With that being the case, you simply don't run around going on a press tour touting a false narrative. I'm pissed. And it's the people that were around Karmelo who sold this story to folks, trying to sell racism for personal gain. Y'all really showed out this time. So, let me see. Someone said the press conference Jeff Metcalf was removed from was the largest tactile error in the entire thing as far as public opinion goes. If only their son would have left the tent as easily as Jeff did, there wouldn't have been a press conference. So there's a lot of heat from the own team turning on the parents. And I'm trying to see something here. Karmelo Anthony's new legal team. Co-counsel Justin A. Moore, Stafford Moore, PLLC, Dallas, Texas. So I don't understand why all these people, let me see, came out. So someone said prosecutor fired from Dallas. A Dallas prosecutor who allegedly threatened the job of police officers as they arrest him on drunk driving charges was fired from the district attorney's office. Wow, I wonder if it's this guy. Someone posted, when was this? A long time ago, 2015, though. A Dallas County prosecutor who allegedly threatened the job of police officers as they arrested him on a drunken driving charge was fired from the district attorney's office, and they say his name is Justin Moore. Back in 2015, which is 11 years ago. So I wonder if that's one of the new dream attorneys. Okay. So let me go see, but there's a coalition. Okay, let me get his attorneys. His dream team of attorneys, which what are they doing? Just trying to make a name, or he doesn't have a chance at all on this appeal. Okay, so civil rights, criminal defense attorneys join Karmelo. So Karmelo Anthony, a group of well-known civil rights and criminal defense attorneys, announced Monday they are representing Karmelo Anthony pro bono in the appeal of his murder conviction. So why are they raising all this money? Because they're all trying to raise money, and like that one thing was like, oh, something about a pizzeria collecting it, and they're like, don't say it. So I think a lot of people may be trying to raise money, and maybe it's not like, it's just for them. I don't know. There's something real sketchy about a lot of stuff. Okay. That they're representing Karmelo Anthony pro bono in the appeal of his murder conviction and 35-year sentence in the death of Austin Metcalf. Almost 2 weeks ago, Anthony filed a notice of appeal, less than 24 hours after a jury found him guilty of murder in the fatal stabbing at a Frisco track meet on April 2nd of 2025. Let's see here. According to the announcement, Anthony's appeal team will include Russell Wilson with the law office of Russell Wilson II, Gary Bledsoe with the Bledsoe Law Firm PLLC, and president of the Texas NAACP, Michael L. Ware with the law office of Michael Ware, Brooke Cluse with Ben Crump Law, Sean Dardia with the Dardia law firm, and Justin A. Moore with Stafford Moore PLLC. It says our appellate team has been retained following the conviction to conduct a fresh, independent review of the trial record. We recognize the profound loss suffered by one man's family and the uncertainty facing another, and we extend our respect to everyone whose lives have been forever changed by these events. Our responsibility is to determine whether a legal error occurred and to ensure that every issue supported by the record is fully and vigorously presented on appeal. The appellate process exists for precisely that purpose. Attorney Mike Howard represented Anthony during the murder trial. Last week, evidence from the murder trial was released to the public by the Collin County judge who presided over the case, Judge John Roach. It was the first time the public had the opportunity to see the still images and video, as no cameras were allowed inside the courtroom during the trial. Okay, so there's also a coalition. Where's my coalition? Coalition. Okay. The NAACP says justice isn't a privilege, but a right that belongs to everyone. The attorneys stepping up pro bono for Karmelo Anthony's appeal represent exactly what our justice system should look like. Principled, accountable, and committed to due process. The NAACP will always champion a legal process that is open, equitable, and worthy of public trust. And here's some of the comments. This is a waste of time. In the 1 in a million chance he gets a retrial, a jury will never reach a unanimous not guilty verdict. This is just race hustlers hustling. Somebody said, justice isn't a privilege. This is true. For justice to be served, the little murderer should spend the rest of his prematurely shortened life in prison. That would be justice, someone said. Someone said the most racist term except for one organization. I don't know what that, okay. Someone said BS. This was a track team huddling under a tent because of the rain. Karmelo entered the opponent's tent with a knife. He's a murderer. Period. Other good behavior doesn't excuse the fact that he pulled out a knife at a high school track meet and stabbed an unarmed boy in the heart. So brutal, the switchblade pierced the heart. That takes a lot of force. There was no mob attack. Listen to the 911 call. The kid trying to help Austin, calling out for him to breathe, was black. Your feeble attempts to play the race card won't play out. Someone said there is a tremendous amount of misinformation coming from each of the several sides of the discussion. Hopefully the trial transcripts will help reduce some of that. However, having read the wild interpretations of the actual surveillance video, I have my doubt that those who are highly biased will ever accept the facts. Karmelo Anthony already got due process. This is a huge waste of time and money. Someone said, I don't know, man. I think pulling out a knife and stabbing someone because the guy pushed you is escalation and considered murder in the eyes of the law. We all saw the video. Let's see. Karmelo was trespassing. Karmelo was a suspended student from another school in a rival team's armed area and was armed. Some trial-related reports and witness coach testimony references supportive parts of this narrative. Do you understand? We all know you're race grifting. Imagine simping for another black killer just because you have the moral high ground. He's guilty. You know it. We see it. Grifters. So that's some of what's coming out there, okay? And now, Gary Bledsoe. Let's see here. Despite being an unequivocal murderer, Karmelo Anthony, a deranged psycho who stabbed an innocent white teen, has been celebrated and advocated on behalf of by many facets of the black community in the United States. In fact, Gary Bledsoe, who is the director of the Innocence Project of Texas and the Texas NAACP president, has come out pro bono on top of the new defense team for Anthony's appeal, illustrating that Karmelo Anthony is being supported from the very top of the AA power elite in Texas. Despite overwhelming evidence and proof of his guilt, there is a significant contingent of people who want Anthony to have his charges overturned simply because he is black. As such, I think it is not unreasonable to conclude that black supremacy lies at the heart of this mass outpouring of sympathy and irrational support that is being expressed for Anthony. The black supremacists can't abide the idea that one of their own could be thrown in jail, prison, for killing an innocent white teen. As such, these black supremacists are falling over themselves to defend him because they think that a black life is better than a white life, and they think it's okay, if not praiseworthy, for a black individual to murder a white individual. The black supremacy is being witnessed rampantly in the discourse surrounding this case, and they are so proud and shameless in their black supremacy. They flaunt it on the streets during courthouse protests, online in interviews all over the place, and it is no doubt being supported and disseminated from the very top of the community's leadership. And we are seeing here with Bledsoe. Essentially, all those people who are supporting Karmelo Anthony are saying two primary things out loud to everyone who is watching. They think that Karmelo's black life is more valuable than Metcalf's white life. And they think that there should be more Karmelos doing what Karmelo did to other white lives. Let's see. Yes, they want reverse separate but equal. They want to inflict all the pain caused centuries ago, here and now, today, to those with the wrong color skin, despite the fact that, in surprise, we're a nation of immigrants. My ancestors on my mom's side were indentured servants in NYC and leaving famine in Ireland. And on my dad's side, German Jews. But I'm white as heck, obviously, so I clearly did something. On top of that, it's so untenable. They're losing more than they'll ever gain by defending people like Karmelo, let alone saying it was justified. Okay, so I told you, I also saw someone say that the people that are defending him, they believe they're part of some, like, cult. I believe it was like some satanic cult or something. And then you do hear that some of these people, they were doing like some kind of a thing in the dirt towards like this other journalist they didn't like. And I told you, she said, I'm not scared of what you're doing because my God is more powerful and no weapon formed against me shall prosper, etc. It's scary. It makes you really sad for humanity. It really does, because why can't they just see that he murdered Austin Metcalf? And it's not only that, is the things they're saying and doing, some, and like I told you, attacking the mother, putting her in thumbnails, saying horrible things, saying things about Hunter. It's just, it's so wrong. So wrong. So they said, who are the people condemning the supporters? Can you name a few? I'm genuinely curious. Someone named Stephen A. Smith. Okay, so let's see what Stephen A. Smith. Hang on. Stephen A. Smith has strongly condemned commentators and supporters defending or excusing Karmelo Anthony in the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf at a track meet. He emphasized that regardless of Karmelo Anthony's background or the victim's race, just because you're black and young doesn't give you a license to murder someone. Smith stated that because the altercation only involved a prior shove, bringing and using a knife was unjustifiable and crossed the line into murder. He said that critics such as Dr. Umar, for attempting to excuse the severity of the crime or use race as a justification, he lashed back at him. While maintaining that Anthony's actions were fatal and inexcusable, Smith also expressed that the 35-year sentence for a first-time teenage offender was excessively harsh. I don't agree with that. Smith has continued to address the fierce public conversation regarding the verdict and race on major news and digital outlets. Okay. Okay, what does this say? Karmelo Anthony supporter reportedly fired as other backers face backlash over the verdict remarks. So I think that was that, the one that was in the Department of Paroles, right? Donna Robinson, yeah. Okay, so we'll look more at that in a little bit. I'm going to go on with the other things that we had here. There was North Carolina mom faces. Wow. Okay. Trying to get to my other thing here. Oh, I want to talk about that boat. I want to look into that. There was a trial going on about a boat crash in Florida. I believe I've talked about it before, but I didn't, cover every day of the trial. But he was acquitted, George Pino. I don't know if any of you are following it, but I'm going to tell you about it because there's backlash too for now the prosecutor, because they say her conduct and stuff like that. So let's talk about what the heck happened here at this. And this is him. He reacts when he finds out that he is acquitted. Right there. Go on. Okay, and let me tell you about this. So a jury on Monday night found George Pino not guilty of felony charges stemming from his boat crash. Now, the boat crash killed a teenage girl and left another one permanently disabled. The victim's family cried for not holding Doral real estate broker accountable. Pino, 55 years old, cried when the verdict was read. The jury was made up of 5 men and 1 woman, and they found Pino not guilty of manslaughter and vessel homicide felony charges. Now, the crash happened September 4th, 2022 in Biscayne Bay. Lucy Fernandez, 17 years old, was killed, and Katie Puig, now 21, another passenger, was left with physical and neurological disabilities. So this is Lucy Fernandez, who was killed. The jury deliberated for more than an hour. Pino's supporters sighed and sniffed when the verdict was announced. Now, see, there's the verdict that came back fast, and it was in the defendant's favor. Loved ones of Lucy were stoic and quiet. They rushed out of the courtroom once the jurors were excused. Pino gestured a thank you to the jurors and then embraced his friends and family while sobbing. In a statement after the verdict, his defense attorney, Howard Shrebnick, said he was grateful that jurors carefully considered the evidence to reach a just verdict. And he said, and I quote, "From the beginning, we have maintained that the events of September 4th, 2022 were a tragic accident, not a crime." The testimony presented at trial included unrebutted accounts from eyewitnesses who saw no signs of impairment, and they confirmed that Mr. Pino was not under the influence. He was not operating the vessel recklessly, that he did everything he could to protect his passengers after the accident. After the verdict, Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle said in a statement that her office decided to charge Pino with a felony after determining that there was sufficient evidence that his actions were reckless, although the jury ultimately disagreed. Sadly, I know this verdict brings no comfort to the Fernandez and Puig families, who forever must live with this tragedy of what happened. In a case like this, there are no winners or losers. Mr. Pino must live with what he did, while the Fernandez and Puig families will grapple with the consequences of his actions. The Puig family released a statement Monday night saying they are deeply disappointed by the verdict, and their hearts hurt for Fernandez and Perez families who continue to live every day with the unimaginable loss of Lucy. For nearly 4 years, our family has lived with the consequences of that tragic day. We see Katie's injuries every day. We see the challenges that she continues to face. the strength she demonstrates in overcoming them, and the impact this tragedy had on her life and the lives of those who love her. No verdict can change those realities. Katie Puig, now 21, was the captain of the Lord's soccer team and a Division I recruit when the accident happened. She was found unconscious in the bay and had emergency brain surgery at Nicklaus Children's Hospital the night of the crash. She now uses a wheelchair, requires round-the-clock medical care. During the trial, the jury was not allowed to hear about the extent of her injuries. Pino was taking his wife, Cecilia, their daughter, and 11 of his daughter's friends back to the Ocean Reef Club in North Key Largo that night from an afternoon outing on Elliott Key. The outing was to celebrate their daughter's 18th birthday. There was a dinner planned at the Ocean Reef at 9 p.m. During closing arguments, prosecutor Laura Adams said Pino operated the boat recklessly when he sped through the Cutter Bank Channel at 47 miles per hour, very fast for a boat. He operated the 29-foot Robalo on the wrong side of the channel and ultimately rammed into the steel marker. The boat capsized, and the 14 passengers were hurled into the bay. Lucy was trapped under the boat and died the next day in the hospital. This isn't blowing a stop sign, Adams told the jury during closing arguments. This is blowing into a stop sign while on the wrong side of the road when you've been drinking. Defense attorney Shribnick disagreed, saying the crash was a tragic accident and did not amount to a crime. He may have committed human error, but that does not make him a criminal. The trial was one of the most anticipated in recent years due to Pino's prominence in South Florida, and because the investigation was controversial from the start. Pino was initially charged in August of 2023 with 3 counts of careless boating, a minor misdemeanor carrying a minimum sentence of 60 days in county jail. However, following a series of Miami Herald articles detailing flaws in the investigation, including police not following up with key eyewitnesses, the Miami-Dade State's Attorney's Office re-examined the case and charged Pino with felony vessel homicide in October of 2024. I believe we covered this, and wasn't there something about a mistress or something? Prosecutors added the manslaughter charge in early 2025 after several girls in the boat gave sworn statements to prosecutors and defense attorneys that they drank heavily from booze stashed in a cooler on Pino's boat. Pino told the lead Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission investigator on scene that night that he had 2 beers. FWC investigators found 61 empty or partially empty alcohol containers in the boat when it was salvaged from the water. Nevertheless, Pino did not face boating under the influence charges. The FWC, which investigates all fatal boat crashes in Florida, never gave him a sobriety test or took his blood to test for alcohol the night of the crash. His attorneys contend the containers found on Pino's boat were collected from other friends' vessels partying with them on the sandbar that day. The Puig family criticized the FWC's investigation in their statement, saying, "We have long believed this case was compromised from the very beginning by critical investigation failures on the day of the incident. George Pino was not administered a sobriety test, nor was a blood sample obtained. As a result, evidence that should have been available in the fatal boat accident investigation was lost forever. The failure deprived the prosecutors, the jury, and ultimately the public of information that may have helped provide a more complete picture of what occurred. And one of the girls on the boat testified during the trial that she saw Pino drinking the day, but other witnesses testified they didn't observe him showing signs of intoxication before or after the crash. Pino did not testify during the trial. I'm going to show you the boat. Seems like a lot of people that he had on that boat, doesn't it? He said 11 of his daughter's friends, him and his wife, his daughter, and 11 of their friends. Doesn't seem that big of a boat for all those people. That's the wrecked boat. Another controversy during the trial was the reason Pino had given for crashing into the channel marker. Until the weeks before the trial, Pino told investigators that another boat coming at him in the channel caused him to lose control of his vessel and crash. But no one else, including the people on his robalo or other boaters in the channel, saw the other boat. Months later, he made the same claim in a sworn statement in a civil case that the Puigs filed against the Pinos. However, in the weeks before the trial started, Pino's attorneys filed a flurry of motions, including one that would exclude the jury from hearing about the other boat. During the trial, Diana Barrett, a Boca Raton neurologist hired by the defense, testified that the other boat theory was a result of Pino's memory being clouded after the crash. She said he showed signs of traumatic brain injury. The defense paid her $30,000 to review the case and testified. Barrett, when questioned by Adams, testified that Pino's brain scan was normal after the crash. The Puig family, in their statement, credited the prosecutors for their dedication, professionalism, and tireless efforts, and they said they did an outstanding job with facts and evidence that was given, and they pursued this case with integrity and compassion for the victims and their families. Nevertheless, their family and the Fernandezes are left with permanent consequences of that day. Lucy is still gone. Katie's injuries remain. The Puig family statement reads, "Two families continue to carry burdens they neither asked for nor deserved. While we respect our system of justice and the role of the jury, we profoundly disagree with the verdict. Based on the evidence presented, we believe George Pino should have been held accountable for the reckless operation of that vessel." So, let's see. So that's where that lies. Let me see here. Hold on a minute, Ian here. Hi, Jane Grill. They didn't take his blood alcohol. Let me see. Hi, handsome man. American Beauty. Okay, let me go to the other thing that I want to all right, here we go. Let me go on this one here. Okay, this is Charles Brooks mugshot from the Parker County Jail. Hang on. Right here. Now, this is out of Texas. An Azle man, Azle wasn't as the town of Azle right around where that little girl was killed by the FedEx guy? Azle. An Azle man is being held in jail after the Parker County Sheriff's Office said he shot and killed his daughter during an argument at their home on Sunday. Deputies say they responded to a home for a call about a gunshot victim. Upon arriving, the sheriff's office said the deputies found the woman started life-saving measures before additional first responders arrived to take over. The victim was unidentified as of the publication. She died at the scene. Deputies then learned early on in the investigation that Charles Brooks was the victim's father, reportedly the one who shot her. The sheriff's office said statements gathered during the initial wave of the investigation indicated that there was a fight between the victim and her mother that unfolded inside the house, and that Brooks reportedly admitted to getting a handgun. And the deputy said Brooks told them he loaded and chambered a round before trying to separate the two women. The sheriff's office said Brooks told them that was the moment the gun was fired, hitting his daughter in the chest. Brooks was arrested for first-degree murder and taken to jail. His bond was set for $2 million. Parker County deputies say they continue to investigate with the assistance of the Texas Rangers. Why in the world, for a fight with her mother, would this man go and get a handgun? Not only that, load it and chamber around? Why? What the heck? It's insane. Okay. Okay, now, and maybe you know that they're bringing up these ransom notes again with Nancy Guthrie. Oh my gosh. I thought we were done with the ransom notes. But I don't know whether it's a slow news day for Nancy's case or what, but they're bringing up the ransom notes again. And saying that they believe they came from the abductor. Well, they already told us a long time ago that the ransom note said that Nancy passed, right? But now I don't know why this is like making the rounds again, but it is. Hold on, I want to just get Nancy's picture up here so we know we're on a different tangent here. Come on. Come on. Hopefully that'll get on. Come on, get over there. All right. So here's what's happening with that ransom note. All right. Hang on, I'm just getting to the... This is going crazy here. This just jumped up. Okay, authorities believe two ransom notes that were addressed to Nancy Guthrie's family days after her disappearance, including a note that she had died, were likely sent by the person or the group of people who abducted her. According to investigators familiar with the case, they believe the same person or people sent both notes, and that both were likely sent from the same computer IP address. The first note demanded millions in Bitcoin for Nancy's release, and in the second note, sent a few days later, the apparent abductors revealed that Nancy Guthrie had died. The note indicated that they did not mean for her to die. Her daughter Savannah Guthrie said in an interview in March that the family believes the 2 notes were authentic. She said there's a lot of different notes. I think that came, and I think most of them, it's my understanding, are not real. And I didn't see them. But I believe the 2 notes that we did receive and we responded to, I tend to believe those are real. The first note was sent on February 2nd, and the second note was sent on February 6th. And was similar in language and style, but did not make any demands. The FBI tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. A task force is made up of FBI and Pima County detectives, and they continue to investigate the kidnapping and search for Nancy Guthrie and her abductors. So, what did that really tell us? I don't know, but it's been circulating today. Okay, let me go to the other headlines. Mackenzie Shrilla's case takes a sad turn with the Ohio Supreme Court. What is that supposed to mean? Well, we know this from a long time ago, that her appeal, Mackenzie Shrilla's appeal, was denied because of the timing of it. It was the wrong time. They filed it too late. So it says here, Mackenzie Shrilla, the Ohio Supreme Court has thrown out her attempt to get her post-conviction appeals reviewed, noting that her legal team goofed with timing, hence a justified reason to strike out their request. Mackenzie was convicted over a 2022 crash in Ohio where prosecutors argued she deliberately crashed her car into a building at 100 miles per hour, killing her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davion Flanagan. She was sentenced to 15 years to life with parole eligibility after 15 years. According to the Apex Court's decision today, June 23rd, Shrilla's post-conviction appeal filing came in rather too late as it was submitted after the legal deadline in which the lower court had no authority to ignore such a large-scale delay. According to court filings, Shrilla's legal team approached the court for a review after they discovered a calendar-related error. Court documents prove that Shrilla's attorney had missed the deadline to file the post-conviction challenge by 1 day due to their failure to factor in the 2024 leap year when calculating the filing date. On Tuesday, the Ohio Supreme Court upheld the initial judgment by the lower court, which concluded that the trial court did not have legal authority to consider the late petition. As established under the legal provisions in Ohio, defendants usually have 365 days from the filing of trial transcripts to challenge their conviction. Prosecutors had insisted that Shrilla's deadline began on October 23, 2023, making her October 24, 2024 filing untimely. In April of 2026, her new legal team appealed to the state Supreme Court, stating that the filing period should have begun later, as a transcript was submitted after the initial trial transcript. They also stated that she might not have been found guilty if she had provided constitutionally sufficient legal representation. In its decision, the Supreme Court highlighted the procedure and found that the arguments did not meet any of the legal exceptions that would permit the late filing to proceed. Crazy there. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, huh? Marion slipped. wonder if that is, Indiana. Marion, Indiana. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, so a parolee, 24, charged with igniting an inferno at a New York homeless hotel, killing 6 people. And this is in Broome County. So Nanette may know about this one. Parolee freed in February allegedly started a ferocious fire at an upstate New York motel and homeless shelter, killing 6 people. Tyler Russell, 24 years old, was arrested on 6 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of arson for an inferno that decimated the Knights Inn in Endwell on Monday morning, according to New York State troopers. Emergency responders rushed to the motel around 6 a.m. They found heavy black smoke and flames rapidly engulfing the building. This is... Six unidentified people were pronounced dead. Knights Inn is one of several local hotels used by the Broome County Department of Social Services to house homeless people. Russell's was previously behind bars in a state prison for 2 years on grand larceny charges. He was released on parole in February. It's unclear whether he lived in the Knights Inn. Several residents of the motel were displaced by the fire, and the Red Cross is now working to help the impacted families. An emergency relief fund organized by the United Way of Broome County for victims of the fire has collected $41,000 in donations. Russell has since been booked into the Broome County Jail for his arraignment. An investigation into the fatal fire remains ongoing. It's crazy. What is this about? Millie Bobby Brown has hit back at critics who blasted her husband, Jake Bon Jovi, for not pushing their baby stroller or carrying her luggage. The 22-year-old actress found herself at the center of a social media storm. Let's see, after paparazzi photos showed her managing suitcases in a stroller without help. Let's see. Old-fashioned looking pram, isn't it? Where's the suitcases? I don't see the suitcases. Let's see. Speaking on the Not Gonna Lie podcast to host Kylie Kelsey, the Stranger Things star fumed, "Hi, I'm Millie Bobby Brown, and I'm not gonna lie. When did women become incapable of holding their own bags, car seats, and stuff? I can do it on my own." The young actress labeled the online backlash against Jake ridiculous, explaining that she is simply someone who likes to take charge when traveling. "People are like that. Your husband doesn't have to hold a single thing because I'm 3 miles ahead. I've been planning this all night. We're all about empowering girls and you've got it and you don't need a man. But then when I'm like, okay, I can carry my own things, people are like, where's your husband?" Millie said she's no damsel in distress. And the public does not know Jake, the son of rock legend John Bon Jovi, describing her man as the most polite, sweet, will do anything for me partner. But he also knows I'm capable and not broken. Okay, I didn't even know that, but all right. Take Care of Maya family accuses attorneys of taking millions for boats and houses. Now let's see what's happening there. We covered this case extensively, this Maya Kowalski case. And there's a lot of people on different sides of that. Some of them didn't exactly believe everything that was going on. Others did. But there's been backlash happening. So a new chapter of drama has begun. At the family at the center of the Netflix documentary Take Care of Maya has filed a lawsuit against its previous trial attorneys, accusing them of professional malpractice. Maya Kowalski and her family won their lawsuit against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in 2023 after they claimed that the hospital had held Maya a prisoner and led to her mother's death by suicide. The lawsuit, filed in 2018, alleged that the hospital's treatment of Maya, who suffers from complex regional pain syndrome, attempted to child abuse and false imprisonment. The jury agreed and awarded the family more than $250 million. That amount was later reduced to $213.5 million. In 2025, a Florida appeals court struck down the judgment in its entirety and remanded the case for a retrial. As the trial for the civil lawsuit, the Kowalski family was represented by the law firm Glenn Anderson, led by the married couple Glenn and Jennifer Anderson. Now the Kowalski family has filed a lawsuit against the Andersons and their firm, accusing them of professional malpractice. The 32-page complaint accuses the attorneys of charging excessive fees during the pendency of the case and misappropriating the funds after the jury ruling. After the jury's ruling, because the judgment was still tied up in appeals, the Kowalskis say that Greg Anderson and Jennifer Anderson directed them to take out a $42 million loan from a third-party lender. Greg Anderson led the charge on the loan, working as litigation counsel and taking on roles related to collateral, account control, and administration of the transaction, the Kowalskis said. The initial agreement signed by the Kowalskis in 2017 provides that Anderson Glenn was entitled to receive a fee of 40% of any recovery up to $1 million, plus 33% of any portion of the recovery above $1 million. The Kowalskis' new lawsuit alleges that those numbers violate limitations imposed by the Florida Bar Association and would require court approval, which was never sought in this case. The lawsuit quotes an email where Greg Anderson appears to acknowledge the discrepancy to make sure we are following bar rules the best we can without destroying your case. In the process, we escrowed the difference between the bar recommendations and the 33.33%. It's all still sitting there in the Kowalski-Anderson Trust. Approximately $30 million was paid out of the loan, with $15 million going to the Kowalski's investment account. The Kowalski's claim is that in their suit that while the bulk of the remainder was supposed to be held in the non-IOTA trust, the other half of the money appeared to be diverted to attorney's fees and charges, despite repeated assurances from the Andersons that their money was safe. By 2025, the complaint says Greg Anderson admitted that the $4 million that had been transferred to a different account was pledged collaterally for a loan, so Greg and Jennifer could borrow millions of dollars from the bank to buy a new multi-million-dollar house. Other payments from the fund allegedly went to one of the Andersons' nieces, a payment to Doc's yacht brokerage for $25,000 in connection with the purchase of a Freemason boat and the purchase of hours on a private jet. The Kowalskis say in their complaint that while Greg Anderson had told them he was trying to pay down the firm's debt that had been incurred during the trial, the funds actually included money to pay $827,840.99 on a mortgage on Greg and Jennifer's vacation home in Idaho, and over $150,000 attributable to pay Greg and Jennifer's various American Express cards. The lawsuit says the Kowalskis have now defaulted on the loan and are being charged 16% interest. This is a mess. In a statement to Court TV, Jennifer Anderson said, "We categorically deny all allegations of wrongdoing and are truly saddened and stunned as anyone with a sense of understanding of what this 8-year litigation took to assist the Kowalskis. Personally, from our own family, we will continue to abide by the court's decisions in these matters. We hope that there will be a fair resolution as soon as possible." So, are you kidding me? They told them to take out a $42 million loan based on the award that they hadn't been paid. Oh my goodness. And it says, what did the Kowalskis do with $15 million? Because it says approximately $30 million was paid out of the loan, with $15 million going to the Kowalskis' investment account. So they have $15 million in their investment account, but now they've defaulted on the loan and they're being charged 16% interest. What is going on there? Oh my gosh. What the heck? Oh, that's crazy. All right, let me see. Let me see here. Hold on a minute. All right. Okay. Let me go back and see what else is going on. Boyfriend charged with murdering. Okay. Spirit Airlines collapse may mark the end of cheap flights in America. I think we noticed that, right? Who is Kelsey? Kelsey Parker? Who is that? Kelsey Parker? The widow of the Wanted's Tom Parker. I don't know who any of those people are, do you? Scary that I don't know. I didn't even know who that Millie Bobby Brown was. Let's see. She says her house was turned into a crime scene. The widow of the Wanted's Tom Parker son Phoenix was stillborn in June of 2025. On Monday, June 22nd, the podcast host and widow of the Wanted's Tom Parker, 36, appeared on a British morning show and shared heartbreaking details about giving birth in June of 2025 to her son Phoenix, who was stillborn, with her partner Will Lindsay. I just went into natural labor at home. It was so quick. My mom, my auntie, and my partner Will were there. My children were there, and I ended up having Phoenix at home. He was actually a planned home birth, but obviously not how it went. She said that her midwife couldn't get into her house. And when she gave birth to Phoenix, you could quite clearly see that Phoenix was no longer with us. Kelsey and her family then called emergency services. She said from there it was just horrendous, really, really horrendous how I was treated and how Will was treated and how the whole family was treated, and was absolutely shocking. She explained that since there was no medical professionals at the scene to confirm the death, the paramedics ended up calling the police. The paramedics arrived and they took Phoenix, so I only ever got to hold Phoenix for 9 minutes, and then the police arrived and took Phoenix away to the hospital. She wrote a poem for Phoenix, born sleeping, forever loved. The world grew quiet as you arrived, so loved, so longed for, yet not alive. Our precious boy, our angel light, born with wings, took silent flight. We named you Phoenix, brave and bright, a soul of love, of warmth and light. Though we never heard you cry, you live in hearts that won't ask why. No breath you drew, no eyes to see. Still, you mean everything to me. Your journey with us, softly near, in every sigh and every tear. She then recalled the traumatic next few moments when she was separated from her son, who was put into an ambulance and taken to the hospital. When she was directed towards the maternity ward, I actually pleaded with them, please, can I be with my son? But 2, please don't put me on the maternity ward where people are giving birth to babies that I'm going to hear crying. But they still put me on maternity. And when I walked out of my house, the police walked in and they called it a crime scene. So obviously you're worried as well. I'm going through this and I think, what do they think I've done? And the children were at home as well, she said. Can we watch the vocab that's happening in the house? Because there are 2 children that are here that can hear everything that is going on. But there must be... He looks, they have his, See here. Earlier this month, Kelsey said that she's pregnant again after almost a year after announcing this tragic stillbirth of her son. A year ago next month, we lost our beautiful boy. And somehow through all the heartbreak, it feels like Tom and Phoenix have sent us another little gift from heaven, our little rainbow baby. Kelsey shares 2 older kids, Aurelia, 6, and Bodie, 4, with her late husband, Tom. Okay, let's see what else we got. I'm going to come back to the chat. Don't worry, I'm coming. I was just seeing if there's anything else here before I come back and... Okay, talk about... Uh-oh, hold on a minute. My thing is dead. Hello, that's so terrible. Millie played 7 on Stranger Things. Oh, you have to close your eyes, Anne? Okay. All right, you listen. Go ahead and listen. All right, let me see. I have to go on. I'm going to go on the other thing now. Hang on. Hold tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Okay. Let me go. Right here. Let's see what we got. Why are they saying Nancy Guthrie's final resting place revealed in the ransom note? What the heck is that even? What the heck? New details have emerged in Nancy Guthrie abduction case. More than 4 months later, the ransom note claims Nancy has died. Okay, where's her resting place? Where's her resting place? It doesn't say that. Yeah, that's such a lie. Okay. Fake pregnancy announcement claims Tracy Ellis Ross is pregnant at 53. What is that about? Aldi's blind box giveaway for free groceries sold out in minutes. What was that? When he dropped off daughter. What is going on? Okay, let's see. What about these parents attack teenage boy when he drops off their daughter after an all-night party because they thought he was an adult? What the heck? Okay, let's see. These are the parents. A Florida mother and stepfather allegedly attacked a 15-year-old boy who dropped their daughter off after an all-night party because they thought he was an adult. Rosa Lamorte-Teru, 45, and Lance Malonis, 61, are charged with aggravated child abuse and aggravated assault. Malonis also stands accused of false imprisonment and criminal mischief. The incident unfolded around 3 p.m. at a home in Deltona, Florida. A probable cause arrest affidavit says that Tiru and Malonis, the parents and the mother and stepfather, were the first to call the police. They claimed their 15-year-old daughter had been gone all night and was dropped off by an adult. "You cannot go," she told the boy while she was on the phone with the dispatcher. The police are coming. What the mother and stepfather failed to mention was that they assaulted the teenager and damaged his vehicle. They also did not realize that he was the same age as their daughter. The teen said as soon as he pulled into the girl's driveway to drop her off, a white van blocked him in. Malonis and the girl's stepfather allegedly came out of the van holding a metal pipe. When the teen rolled down the window, Malonis began hitting the roof of the car. Malonis also allegedly held a knife near the teen's neck. Oh, they sound just peachy. Oh my gosh. Tiru was waving a gun around during the incident. The stepfather eventually moved his van so the teen was able to drive away. The teen then met his mother at a nearby gas station and she called 911 saying 2 adults assaulted my son. He's 15 years old, he's a minor, and they pulled a gun and a knife on him and damaged his vehicle. The teen says he was in fear of his life. His mother estimated the damage to the car around $4,000. Deputies arrested the pair and took them to the Volusia County Jail where they remain without bond. Their next court hearing is on July 1st. Wow. Stellar response there. Oh my goodness. Oh, here's a couple more parents. Let's see what happened with these parents. So, a healthcare executive and her husband have avoided prosecution by agreeing to fines, community service, and a total ban from the Florida county where their 6-month-old baby was found left alone on the beach. Sarah Wilkes, 37, and Brian Wilkes, 40, were arrested last October. I think I remember this. After deputies responded to reports of an unattended infant at Miramar Beach. The Texas couple were both charged with child neglect without great bodily harm. But court records show the prosecutor have agreed not to pursue the case if the pair meets a series of conditions set out in a deferred prosecution agreement. It's a decision which has surprised some after the couple's actions were widely criticized online. The agreement requires each of them have to pay a $1,000 fine, complete 25 hours of community service, and attend a parenting class. They've also been barred from Walton County, Florida, where the incident took place. Entirely, not just the beach, the whole county. All 1,240 square miles of it. I always think, like, how are they going to know if they're in there? What, do they have a license plate reader? I mean, how would they really know? That's what's interesting, right? But wait a second. The incident happened near Hilton Sandestin Beach Golf Resort and Spa on Florida's Gulf Coast. Members of the public discovered the baby alone and stepped in to care for her while emergency services were contacted. By the time deputies arrived, the Good Samaritans were already looking after the child. Police say the baby's vital signs were normal and she was not in any kind of obvious physical distress. Authorities say the couple returned to the area while the officers were waiting for paramedics. And they admitted that they left the baby behind while they went elsewhere with their 3 other children. Deputies said the pair told officers they put their baby down for a nap beneath a beach tent, and they went for a walk and lost track of time. Surveillance footage reviewed during the investigation clearly showed that neither parent had taken a phone with them while they were away from the child. The Florida Department of Children and Families also attended the scene following the incident. The 3 other children were temporarily placed into state custody until relatives traveled from Texas to collect them. The case drew widespread attention after details of the family's circumstances emerged. The Wilkes family lives in a home in Houston, Texas. Sarah Wilkes is a regional president at U.S. Heart and Vascular, a national provider of support services for independent cardiovascular physician practices. She appears to use her maiden name, Sarah Summers, in a professional capacity, and last year she was named in Cardiovascular Business's 40 Under 40 class of 2025. The publication said she helped create a more streamlined and cost-effective experience for patients while improving standards of care. Following the arrest, Walton County Sheriff's Office Major Dustin Cosson publicly criticized the couple's actions. He said the amount of time that the baby had been left alone went far beyond what authorities would consider reasonable. Cosson said he understood that babies often have strict nap schedules. However, he said it didn't justify leaving an infant unattended. That's all fine and dandy, but you don't just leave a baby at a house and then leave and go off to the store. He also outlined some of the dangers that could have arisen while the child was alone on the beach. The baby could roll over and suffocate, or the wind could blow the towel over its face. There's no telling what could have happened. Cosson added that visitors should continue to exercise common sense while on holiday, even in family-friendly destination. Yes, it's a bubble, but that doesn't mean as you cross over the county line or over the state line into Florida that we can just leave your common sense behind. The deferred prosecution agreement means the case will not proceed provided the couple satisfy all of its requirements. I remember these people because I remember her. She looks like somebody I know. Oh, my son was showing me this lady who took the Knicks trash can. So gross. First of all, so gross. Let me just show you this. This is so disgusting. So disgusting. All they did was spray paint this trash can. My son Michael just showed me this one went out for Father's Day. He's like, what the heck? Look at this lady. She wanted this trash can. Why? I don't know. Okay? Like my son said, she wanted that so freaking bad. All they did was spray paint it. It wasn't like any official Knicks thing. You see, it's a regular green trash can that they spray painted in blue and orange. So, ew, gross, and disgusting. She wanted that, so she emptied the trash in the street. Believe this or not, is this true? And a woman caught on video emptying a public trash can on the street and then stealing it during the New York City Knicks championship parade Now listen to this one, was a director at JP Morgan Chase. She was fired Tuesday over the incident. Angie Baez, 40, was promoted to Executive Director of Community and Industry Engagement for Card and Connected Commerce at JP Morgan Chase more than a year ago. She previously served as Executive Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the New York-based review website The Infatuation, which Chase acquired as part of its broader push into lifestyle and experiential content. Here, this is her now walking away with this. Do you even believe this? She lost her job because of this garbage can, which I'm sure they've taken from her, and still has napkins inside there. So gross. So absolutely gross. And she's walking in the freaking trash. Ugh. 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 Who? A city garbage can. Sources say the bank looked into the incident after the video surfaced, and a JP Morgan Chase spokesperson told the Post the employee is no longer with the company. Baez could not be reached for comment. Sources noted that she had attended the parade in her personal capacity. Clips surfaced over the weekend showing Baez, dressed in Knicks gear, dumping the contents of a limited edition, a blue and orange trash can, onto a Manhattan sidewalk before walking off with the receptacle. Additional footage shows her riding the subway with the stolen bin. In a bio on the Infatuation's website, Baez is described as someone whose dedication to making a positive impact shines through in every aspect of her work. The publication adds that Angie's efforts have helped position the Infatuation as a trailblazer in the pursuit of a more equitable and relatable food media industry, calling her one of the brightest voices in the space. As a vibrant mosaic of Dominican heritage, Bronx roots, and a passion for storytelling, creativity, and culture, Angie continues to lead the way towards a more inclusive and equitable future for food media, leaving an indelible mark on the Infatuation in everything she touches, her bio states. Baez also appears to have co-founded a queer and black, indigenous, and people of color-owned talent agency called Same Page Company, which is focused on increasing representation and equity in media and industry. It works with artists and talent on creative projects, photo shoots, strategy, and business affairs. Same Page Company did not immediately respond for comment. Earlier in her career, Baez worked as diversity and inclusion program lead at Squarespace and held a top job as diversity and inclusion roles at Saks Fifth Avenue, Hudson Bay, Saks off Fifth, according to another biography. And here she is riding the subway with the trash can, with her hands inside of it. Very proud of herself, and now how is she feeling that she lost her job? Under New York City law, theft of property valued under $1,000 is typically petty larceny. Dumping trash onto the street and stealing public property for your own personal use is both illegal, antisocial behaviors, and not what New Yorkers do. On top of that, doing both on camera is incredibly stupid, says the New York Department of Sanitation. The NYPD said that on June 20th, they had not received any complaints related to the incident and that Baez has not been charged with a crime. Huh. I don't just, oh my gosh. Okay, let me see here. What is her name? Baez. What was the first name? Angie. Let's see. Angie Baez. Now, why would she do that? Oh boy. Apparently, it says that she made $250 to $350K annually. I don't know if that's true, but it's saying it. It says he estimates that she was earning between $250K and $350K annually as an executive director at J.P. Morgan Chase in New York. I'm not really believing that. I don't believe that salary. I'm sorry. And if she was, honey, she could have got just a garbage can. You could have bought it and spray painted it. You don't need that. You don't need it. And I wonder if they're spray painting them green. I have to ask my daughter what they did, but did they spray paint them green afterwards? Were these new and done for this? What were they doing with them afterwards? Let's see. Let's see where these nicks. Let's do a little research into these. Because you see they're green on the bottom. Were the green garbage pails that were painted NYX colors, repainted green again? Let's see. The iconic green NYC trash cans painted in NYX blue and orange were not repainted green. Rather, they were removed and largely snatched by fans as souvenirs. The special edition wire mesh bins, a collaboration between the New York City Department of Sanitation and the streetwear brand Only New York, were rolled out for the June 18th championship parade. Fans eagerly treated the public bins as championship collectibles, with viral videos showing people dumping the trash onto the sidewalk and walking off with the custom cans. Because many of the uniquely painted bins were stolen off the street entirely, the sanitation department did not have the chance to repaint them green. Okay, so there's more than just her then. But she's the one that's making all the pictures. So they were new. But where's the other people that... don't know. Very strange. Okay. All right, let me just get back to the let me get back here. I wonder how they figured out who she was from the videos. Well, I don't know. Hi, murder crows. They took their children for a walk and left the baby, and they're not being prosecuted? Crazy, they should be locked up. Okay, let's start word cookies because it is 3:22 and I was so tired today, that's why I didn't want to go out. Oh, my second win. Okay. Spin. Girly. Where's Mr. Woo? Mr. Woo. Mr. Woo, Mr. Woo. Okay. Daily puzzle. Rolling, 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 rolling. Loin, okay, that's one I didn't get. Royal. Okay, let's see. Ryan, I got. Grin. Rill. Okay. Nil I tried, not there. Loin I tried, it's not there. G. Grin we did. Okay. Fish. What's oh my? Yay. Oh, see, it's so weird. It gives you a different word. Him. Hem. Chef. Okay. All right. Mesh. Mischief I got. Hems. Did I do hems? Oh, I did hems. Hems. Shim. Shim. Extra word. What? Seedlings? Seedlings? Your word says seedlings. Form? Look at your words. See what it does to your words? Look what it does to your words, Murder. Do you see that? Look what it does to Murder's words. I don't know why it does that. What is that X over A? You don't see that? Oh my gosh, I have to show you again. Look, watch what it does. Watch. Look at this craziness. How can you not see it, Heart? You're a moderator. You should be able to see it. Look, watch. See your word form? Then I hit this X and A. Look. Look. You see that? Do you see it? You see what it does? Seedlings, it says. Do you see it, Murder? Tell me you see it. Tell me you see it. Tell me. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it now? I just did it. You didn't see me when I pulled it on the board? When I pulled it over on the blackboard? And I showed you in the classroom? Come on. You saw it then. You had to have. Everybody did. Weird. You saw it? Did you see it, Murder? I wonder what that is. Fret. Yes, very good, Jen. Girl. Very good. I feel like we had this one last night. is it? I tried GIP. See? I tried it. Oh, it's ion. I always know it's got to be an I when it doesn't. Supervisor. Hi, Pencilla. That's so weird. Jen Grills thing says, "Hey, supervisor," and then it corrects to Pencilla. Hi, Pencilla. Citrus. Very good. Oh, special level. We're getting more of those again. S. Okay. Rustics. I don't know. Gonna be it? Yeah. Okay. Suits. We did suits, didn't we? We didn't. Stirs. I do all these plurals. Rusts. Curds. Do we do curds? Scoots, stirs, roast, cuts, stirs. Truss. Oh, you got it too. Sits and serves. Okay, there we do. Got it. That was good. jobs. Die, duo. Bus. Bud. I think I tried that. Busybody. Oh, you're a busybody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Very funny, Murder. Very funny. I know a few busybodies around YouTube. Very, very busybodies. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? How come Bud? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What is wrong with this? Why did it not take it? Oh my gosh. Pain, yeah, I got it. Air, yeah, air. Fair. Very good. Riff-raff. The riff and the raff. What about the raff? Riff-raff. Ooh. Kukula, Fran, and Ollie. I haven't thought of them in years, Kukula, Fran, and Ollie. I don't even know if I would even understand it today. I used to love it when it came on. You never knew when it was going to come on. You were freaking out when it did. Piranha. Piranha. Raffia. Raffia. Yay, Raffia. Yay, Raffia. Esquire. Okay, and requires. Okay. Oh, you got that too. What else you got? Rise. Yeah, we got rise. Tricks. Yay. Okay. I think we're going to end it here tonight. It's been a long night. It's 4:12. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for playing along. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. And hold on a second. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know where you are. Come on. Here you are. Okay. I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Prayers for everyone that needs them. Please keep Amy in your thoughts and prayers. And everyone else in our community and all of us need prayers. So please bless us all. Pray for us all. See you tomorrow. Good night, guys. Love you. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everybody. Good night.